through like heartbreak or a breakup or something along those lines. And so I thought, since I'm going through a breakup, I know that there's a lot of other people right now who probably need just not even encouragement necessarily, but just someone to like be there with them and know like that they're not alone and that it's gonna be okay, and just to kind of sit with them in the pain or the emotions of whatever they're feeling. So if that's you, this video is gonna be for you, because especially with this setup, it's a lot more intimate and just casual and laid back. Like, you know, you and I, we are just two besties, and you know, at a sleepover, just vibing and being there for one another. So I'll probably just be talking about like breakups in general and just self-worth and things that I've been learning, encouragement and positive affirmations, you know, that probably I need to hear as well. So if that's something that interests you, you are in the right place. If it's not, then I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, so I had a breakup very, very, very recently, and sometimes I'm totally fine and you know, like, life is good. I don't need anyone else. Like, I'm happy. I was happy being single, and I know I'll be happy again. But then other times, you know, it's hard. And so if that's you right now too, in that phase of this is hard, I feel you. Whoever you are, I feel you. I think that happiness is one of those things that are so innately human, and everyone can experience and know what it's like, at least in some point, and it's something that connects us. But I also think heartbreak is something that connects us as well. And so I see you, I'm here for you. I know that it's so hard, and sometimes it just hits you kind of out of nowhere. It hits you really, really hard, and things that you thought you were over, or things that you thought you were okay with, or just memories start like playing back in your head, and that's hard. So I hear you, and I see that, and I'm experiencing that myself as well. And something that I hate in breakups is that it literally just takes time. There's no quick, easy fix. There's things that absolutely you can do to help speed up the recovery process and the healing process, but you have to give yourself time to grieve. And I'm not someone who's uncomfortable sitting with their feelings. I sit with a lot of uncomfortable feelings, a lot of negative ones, and I'm perfectly fine doing that, and I can dig into those really deep, dark places and be okay with doing that. But for some reason this time I can't, and I don't want to dwell there. I don't want to sit there. I don't even want to sit there for a little bit, because like, for once, it's too painful, I think. And if that's you too, like, I'm so sorry that you're going through that, and I'm so sorry that you cry yourself to sleep, or maybe you're left feeling like you're not enough, or that if you had done something differently then they would have stayed. Or, you know, my breakup was, it was a mutual thing. Like, there were things that he felt, and in response wrong time, right person is still the wrong person, because if it's the right person, maybe they would be there at the right time. I don't know. I don't know exactly what I believe in that facet, but it was just there. Nothing like bad happened. It wasn't a big explosive argument or anything like that. But yeah, it definitely hurts, and it's interesting how during my first 2 breakups, like my first like real breakups, I was left feeling like I wasn't enough, but also like I was too much all at the same time, and left feeling just very worthless and like, well, what am I supposed to do now? In this breakup, I don't feel that way. I don't feel that like I'm too much or I'm not enough. I actually don't feel that, just because of like how amicable the breakup was. But that got me thinking like how much other people's words would affect me, because the first relationships, those people told me that I was too much or that I wasn't enough, and those people ingrained in me, and then after that, that's something that I began to believe. With this breakup, I felt like I was too much. I felt like these things that these people had told me from my first breakups was coming back during the breakup, because I was like, oh my gosh, obviously that has to be why this is happening. But he was telling me the exact opposite. He was telling me like, you're not too much, like you're amazing, you're worth it, you're still all these things. Like, I want you to believe in yourself and believe that you're still an amazing person, and like, I want you to believe those things for yourself. And it's just interesting how much my self-talk and the talk, like, there's 2 parts to this. The first one is how much my self-talk mattered, because then, like, he made me promise, like, well, didn't make me promise, but basically, like, promise me, like, you won't blame yourself for any of this, you won't tell yourself that you're not enough, like, don't think that for a second. And so that's something that I've been really trying to get out of, like, you know, break out of and not think that way, and for the most part, I've done that. And so to me, it was just interesting, like, how important that talk was, to tell yourself that you're worth it, to tell yourself these things, regardless of if that other person said those things to you, whether they said good things or bad things about you during the breakup. Ultimately, what they say doesn't matter. What they say can reinforce thoughts that you might have about yourself, but you do not have to believe those thoughts, because ultimately it's up to you. And going through this breakup, I learned that more so than I had anything else, like, about thoughts ever. Like, your thoughts matter. And because when those thoughts came into my mind, the intrusive one saying, he broke up because this happened, like, you guys broke up because this, because you're not enough, because you didn't do this enough, or because you did this too much, or because your emotions are too much, or these things that people have told you in the past are too much. Honey, you are not too much, and I need you to believe that too. I need you to believe that, because it's so important how you talk to yourself, because the way that you talk to yourself is what your brain believes about yourself, and you carry those things with you every single day, and babe, you're already probably hurting so much. Don't add to that. Don't add to it. It's gonna hurt anyway, just because of the nature. Like, I watched a video on how the effects of a breakup are that of a drug addict. is a drug, and it lights up the same part of the brain as like when you're like withdrawing from cocaine or heroin. Literally, that's what your brain does when you're doing like a breakup and you're not talking to the person, you're not seeing the person, or you're, you know, backing away from this person. It's already so hard. It's gonna be hard, and that's okay. It's just the nature of the breakup. But like, you gotta be kind to yourself. You have to be extra kind to yourself, because that's what's gonna be, you know, the make it or break it. And it's gonna be part of what takes you from going deeper into a spiral. I tend to spiral during breakups and go kind of wild and crazy, and just, it's just not fun, not pretty. But I've noticed the more that I'm mean to myself, or I say these things, or I choose to believe the things that these people have talked about me or said about me, when I choose to believe that, I go farther down the hole, and I go 2 steps back, and it takes me so much longer to get over the breakup, because then I start associating these negative traits I think I have, or I think about myself. I start associating that with the breakup, and it's hard to get out of that state. But it's freeing, and it feels so difficult in the moment to feel and be like, okay, it's okay, I'm free, I am perfect just the way I am. And, you know, maybe there were things that you could have done differently, and that's okay. If you acknowledge those, that's okay. Nobody is perfect in that way, but to say all these nasty things about yourself instead of what you know to be true, like, that's what makes it harder. And so for me, what I've been planning on doing is making a list of things that I like about myself, or that I bring to relationships, things that I value in myself. And if you don't have good self-esteem, that may be something that's hard for you, but trust me, you have it, and it's so freeing to be able to write those things down and be like, well, okay, I guess I'm a very loving person, or I like the way that when someone is sick, I immediately I care for them and I love them, or I communicate really clearly. That's something that I love about myself. Just things that you bring to a relationship, instead of focusing on all of these really negative things you think about yourself, like, I shouldn't have done this as much, or I'm too emotional, I'm too this, I'm too that. Don't get stuck in the twos, in the TOO, I'm too this. You're not too anything, okay? And if you are too anything to that person, then that person's not the one. And that can sometimes be a hard truth that we have to realize too, is sometimes that person isn't the one, because they don't appreciate us or value us in the way that we want, in the way that we need. They don't appreciate us. And that's nothing on you. It's nothing on you, but it's on them. And something that I've mentioned before in other videos is sometimes in relationships, we are a vanilla cupcake, and we want this person, and this person seems to like us at first, but nothing we do is ever enough for them, or maybe it is too much for them, or there's these things about them or that they don't like in us. That doesn't mean they don't want you because you're a bad person, or because you're not worth it, or you're not valued enough, or you're unlovable. It just means that they were looking for something else. They weren't looking for a vanilla cupcake, they were looking for a chocolate cupcake, or they were looking for vanilla ice cream. They were looking for something. But somebody who wants a vanilla cupcake is going to seek you out and find you. And you'll realize, oh wow, this person, when they were with me, they made me feel just like mediocre. Like, oh yeah, I guess I can go out with you. Yeah, I guess you're not the worst. I'm just not really in the mood for you, though. Yeah, I don't appreciative of who you are, for the things that you have to bring to the relationships, for the things that you value in yourself. And so that person who wanted strawberry ice cream and got you, made you feel like you were less than or not worth it, when in reality they just weren't looking for someone like you, but someone who does look for a vanilla cupcake and loves vanilla cupcakes as their favorite dessert. They are gonna freaking cherish you and adore you, and you deserve that. Okay, I want you to believe that, and I want you to just like believe. I want you to believe that you can be adored. And something, I guess, for me, it's never helpful when people tell me like there's someone else out there for you, because in the moment I don't want anybody else, you know, like I want that person. And that's something that I've been struggling with too, is because in like so many ways he was genuinely like everything I wanted. And so there's a grieving process, I think, for that, and it's okay if I'm not there, or if you're not there. You know, people just say those things to try to make you feel better, and in reality there probably is someone out there. There probably is, and it can be hard to like want to believe that, because you still want that person. And I think that is something that it's not healthy long term to have that, but it's okay if you feel like that right now. It's part of the growing process, and it's part of getting over this person. It's just part of getting over them. And I can't tell you how many times, like, to myself, I've just been like I don't want to get over that person. I don't want to have to. There's just a lot of denial, and like I don't want it to be over. And so I see you, and I hear you. I acknowledge that that's maybe something that you're going through right now too. And if you are, I'm sorry. I want you to be happy. I want you to be happy, and I want you to just believe in yourself and believe that you're worthy of love. And even if you believe that you're worthy of love and you're still hurting, that's okay. And even if you don't believe you're worthy of love and you're still hurting, that's okay. Whatever you're feeling right now is okay, especially if the breakup did not go well. If it was a really hurtful process, if they said some things, or if you said some things, or if it just wasn't something that you feel like ended on good terms at all, it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling right now. Just promise me that you will be kind to yourself no matter what, and you will do what you need to do. You will do what you need to do to take care of yourself and to be healthier and to take the high road. And it's so easy, I know, for me especially, to get caught up in like stalking their Instagram, or you know, just checking up on them, or wanting to talk to them, or you know, whatever it is. All these things, or you know, maybe even making a post that just shows how you're doing, you know, or being petty. Any of these things are very, very natural instincts to have and to want to do, and I've realized that when I do those things, I don't feel better. I feel so much worse. It feels good in the moment, but oftentimes I don't get the reaction I want, and oftentimes doing something to get a reaction can be manipulative and hurtful, and it's just petty, and it's something that I've always regretted doing. And so this time I'm really, it hurts more in a way to take the high road and to just be kind to yourself and genuinely just focus on yourself. Try not to worry about them or what they're doing or wonder what they're doing. Just focus on yourself and what you need to heal. And it's a better process. It may hurt more, but you get over it faster. I'm already feeling that. I'm getting over it faster. It still hurts, like, you know, but I don't know, that was just something I was thinking of. And I think too, like, we lose our sense of identity sometimes when we're in a relationship. And I don't feel like I lost it necessarily, but it's a weird balance of, like, you made that person a priority in your life for however long it was, whether it was a month or 7 years. You made them a priority, and there's no easy way to map out a breakup, like, plan. You know, sometimes what works for someone doesn't work for someone else. But in general, like, I think just relearning and readapting, readjusting, and remembering who you were before you were in a relationship and getting back to those things. Also, sorry, it looks like I'm not wearing a shirt now that it's like dark. I am, I promise. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. Anyways, yeah, it just, you need to really dive into those things that make you, you. And for me, I've been channeling everything into, like, songwriting. I've been channeling things into writing stories, writing poetry, singing, playing music, things that ground me and bring me back to who I was before the breakup, to who I was before the relationship, and getting back to really focusing on my friends, focusing on my support system, focusing on my family, focusing on myself, and just being extra kind to myself. And all of those things can really, really help. But I get that it's hard, and I get if it's hard, and I just want you to know, like, you are so worth it. It does not matter what they have said about you or what you have said about you. You are so incredibly worth it, and you are so, let me turn this up a little bit, see if I can make it brighter, kind of, so incredibly valued. And yeah, I just hope you know that, and I hope that you remember that, and that, sorry, my phone fell. I just want you to be okay, and just know that in time you will be okay. Time truly does heal. And I will say, though, time does not fix things. You fix things. But time will help if you also put in the work to be healthy and to be safe and to be strong. And strength does not mean getting over it necessarily in the way that you would think, or never crying or anything like that. There's strength in crying, there's strength in hurting, and there's strength in, I think the strength comes from getting up every day and choosing to fight. Even if you don't do well that day, at least you got up and you tried. That's where the strength is coming from. And yeah, I don't know, that's what I want for you. And you'll be okay, but you do have to put in some work too. And time's not going to fix everything, but it gives you the capacity and the space to do so. And just know that you are loved, and it's going to be okay. There's so many people out here who are going through the same thing as you, and it's okay. It's okay if you don't have it figured out. There's no timeline for healing. Some people can be over it really fast. Other people, it takes them, I don't even know. But don't compare yourself or be like, I should be over this by now. If it matters to you, it matters to you. You don't need to apologize apologize for that. You don't need to feel like you should be over something, because everyone is different and the things that you've experienced are unique to you. And I just want you to know that. I want you to believe that you're worthy and you will get over it in due time. But in the meanwhile, please, 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 please be kind to yourself. Rely on a support system if you have one, and if you don't have one, find one. There's even like free like mental health type like support groups that you can find, and I've had apps. Obviously be safe about it and make sure you're not giving away like personal information or anything, but there's like safe mental health apps that you can check into. There's so many places and people that are caring for you and that only want the best for you. I was gonna be a sad girl in my bed by myself, but I figured there's probably someone else who needs to hear these things too, as much as I need to say them or hear them or feel them. So if that's you right now, we're in this together. Okay, we're in it together and we're never alone. I'm here with you, and you're safe, and everything is gonna be okay, even if it does not feel okay right now. Even if it doesn't feel like it will be okay. Part of me is saying this because I don't believe it, but I know deep down it's true. I know that it's true, and yeah, you're gonna be okay. Just feel what you need to feel. It's been helpful for me to like journal. It's been really helpful to journal for me. But do what you need to do. Be safe. Stay healthy. You will never regret